So, I was putting the headphones on. You know what really grinds my gears?
Uh-oh.
You want to know something that really grinds my gears? So, I don't know if you've ever seen my ears. Really weird statement to be making to you.
I don't know if you've seen my ears.
I don't know if you've ever seen my ears.
I'm like trying to fix my hair. It is a mess.
I know. I'm trying to figure out
The table's lower. That's why this mic needs to be put up more.
Honestly, I don't know if you've ever seen my ears. They're very flat. I have flat ears. Like I don't have like that fold that most people do, like the little curve.
Like this?
Yeah, I don't have that. My
Really?
ear, look.
There's no way.
My ear is flat. So
she got flat ears.
Hello, listeners. For everyone that's listening and not watching, I have really flat ears. I will not be inserting a picture of my ear. I think that's kind of weird. Anyways, this isn't the forum for that.
Listen, I said I was going to insert the pictures of our drawings, and you never sent them to me, so there was never any pictures of the drawings.
You forgot to remind me the next morning.
And then I forgot about it until when I was uploading it, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I guess we're kind of out of luck here with that, I guess.
Yeah, so you forgot to remind me. Anyways, so as I was saying, I have really, really flat ears. Odd thing to say. I know. I'm aware. That's none of your business.
Wait, who told you had flat ears?
No one's ever told me that.
Or you just saying?
I've noticed this.
Oh.
So that means,
Bugging me.
like, for a lot of piercings, you have to have the proper anatomy, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just get, like, a smiley piercing, which is, like, the one that's, like, right under your lip there, if you don't have a frenulum.
Like, under your lip, like this?
Up top. That one's called do you have that skin up there? Or do you not have it?
A little, like...
Yeah, that little piece of
Ew.
skin. That's called the frenulum.
Oh, how do you even get, like...
I've had it pierced before. Are you still hooked up?
I just unplugged my headphone. Continue talking. I can hear.
So, I actually used to have my smiley pierced, and it started to give me Kylie lips. It's because I was having an allergic reaction to the metal.
Oh.
So I'm allergic to metal. So I had an allergic reaction. So
we're back.
And I was scared my lip was going to fall off, so I had to take it out, which was really upsetting for me. But so I have the anatomy for that.
It's gotta hurt.
Oh, it didn't. He pierced my lip, not my actual frenulum though. I don't know if that's the proper way of doing it. If anyone's a piercing professional out there, please let me know, because I don't.
The wrong thing.
Well, like, because obviously it touches the tip of your lip, but he pierced like the fatty part of my lip, which I don't know if that's the proper way of doing it or not. So I have the anatomy for that, and he was like, you have to have the anatomy, and I was like, I'm aware.
You have to have the anatomy.
I do have the anatomy for the frenulum, which is the smiley, and so I was like, oh, maybe I'll get my industrial pierced. I can't.
Your what?
My industrial. It's a
is that
piercing.
Okay, I was like, what?
It's a piercing that goes through your cartilage up there, but you have to have the two folds.
And you don't have the two folds.
And I don't have any folds. I don't know why I said two folds. I don't have any folds in my ear.
Fold.
I don't have a singular one.
Foldless.
So it's completely flat, so I can't get it. I can get my cartilage done, but I just can't get my industrial.
Foldless ear.
And I want my bridge pierced, which is like, it goes through here. But I don't think I have enough meat. I don't think I have enough meat there.
I have a scar there.
I also have a scar here. But, because we're scar twins.
We're just twins in general.
Twins.
It is so,
that'll be the next episode, how we're twins.
Yeah, next one. That's
Me
what we'll talk
and my
about.
But yeah, so that grinds my gears. I don't have the anatomy for two piercings I would love to have, so.
Imagine.
Wait, hold on. You're showing your tattoos. I gotta.
Huh? Oh, sorry. It was just, let me.
Be like JoJo Siwa. So, who would you call?
Just stop. Don't bring that video up ever again.
I'm glad you know exactly what video I'm talking about.
Once you said JoJo Siwa, I know what you were saying.
Fun fact for everyone who doesn't know. This tattoo was done by the same people that did his tattoos.
Whoop. And then whoop. Well, not this one, but.
It's close enough. Same place. Same genre.
With my job, we go and we film. Well, we do a bunch of different things, but we had this one place we were installing this hardware for them, and we were filming the process for it for their thing. The place we went to is like a hotel, like bar type place.
Yeah.
And apparently it's haunted.
Ooh, spooky.
And I didn't know this, and then someone had told me about it. You know that place haunted, right? And I was like, yeah, I didn't know that, but thanks for, telling me. And we get there, we're, installing the things, and the guy, so we're filming this guy install all this stuff. And he mentioned something about it being haunted. So like he was told previously, because he didn't live here, he lived in Florida. So like he came up here and then found out and like knew that the place was haunted. Like he did research on this place, and I thought it was really funny.
Imagine you're coming for a job and it's like spooky, scary skeleton.
So we're sitting there, and we had 2 cameras on the guy. We're sitting there, and my one friend who I was working with at the time, he looked at me. He goes, "Huh?" And I went, "What?" He goes, "Did you say something?"
Oh,
like,
no.
I'm like, "No." He goes, "I heard a whisper like in my ear." And no, I'm standing this far away from him. So if he heard something and I didn't, like it wasn't me. Like I'm like, and we had video footage of this. So like we have the audio where there's like, you can, and I'm standing right behind the camera, so it didn't pick up anything from me. And you just hear, "Huh?" And it was like him. And he goes, "You heard like a like in his ear." And I was like,
I hate that.
And we said that, and the guy goes, "Isn't this place haunted?" And we're asking the owners about it, and they made jokes about it, like it being haunted and everything.
Yeah. Obviously,
but
as you do.
So it was just like we experienced that, and then from that point on, we were so sketched out from everything that was happening whenever we were filming. And at the time, we didn't know that there was people in like the upstairs, that they rent out office spaces. We were hearing footsteps and like stuff moving. So like we're like super sketched out. And then like, we had like a free time where we were waiting for something to get worked out. So we went exploring around the building, only to find out that there's offices upstairs. So there was just people in the offices.
Oh my God, that's so
like
funny.
It made that, but it still didn't explain the whisper that my friend heard in his ear. And he like, there was no audio of anything there, so like he heard it in his ear, and that was it.
Well, the company I worked at, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Someone died in the bathroom, apparently. So it said. So there would be
going in that bathroom again.
There'd be a lot of times, and this is one of the funnier ones. So I used to work with somebody, and she used to open. Mm-hmm. So she went into the cooler, and when she came out, her bottle of Dr. Pepper was sitting in front of the door. And at this point, there was no one in the store with her. She was in the store by herself. And we didn't know the password to the camera, so we couldn't check to see like what happened.
Oh my gosh.
So she is absolute, like we come in and she is freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. There's a Dr. Pepper in front of the door." And so she throws the Dr. Pepper away. She was like, "I don't want to know what's wrong with it." She threw it away.
Like a bottle? Or
yeah, like it was like one of those big bottles. Like
a 2 liter.
Oh, it was a 1 liter.
Or the 1 liter. The half in between. Okay.
So it was like a big liter. So like obviously it didn't roll its way over there. So and apparently it was standing like it was standing up. And she like freaked out. She threw it away. And then we messed with her. So we took it out of the trash and put it in front of the fridge when she went back in again.
That's so bad.
And for like a solid 10 minutes, she genuinely thought the bottle moved by itself. And she went, "You guys were messing with me, aren't you?"
That's funny. That's great.
But like there were so many instances where I would hear things moving. And they shouldn't be moving because like there's no vents nearby. And the one time I heard someone sigh in my ear. And I was like, and at this point, I'd be the only one in the building. And I'm like... I would, when I tell you, I ran to turn the lights on because like you had to go switch the breaker lights on. So I was like jogging through from the front door to the back,
my gosh.
To, like the back of the kitchen. So I was like
trying to get those lights on. I
don't know. It like freaked me out because I always heard things, and I was like, of course, I'd be the one to accidentally get like a knife in my kidney, and then the camera got corrupted, and I'd be like, oh great. Everyone's going to think
You self-harmed.
Self-inflicted my kidney.
Self-inflicted wound. Welcome back to the Blonde Chronicles. Today we are what are we doing again?
We are doing Reddit stories.
Yes.
So
yes.
I have a mix of both. I don't know. Which one do you prefer? Am I the pooter hole or am I the sphincter? Which one are you and my preference for?
I don't know.
I'll mix it up then.
Oh my gosh.
So I have a lot of those. Am I the sphincter? And then I have a couple confessional ones as well. Okay. So we're just gonna mix it in. Just
I figured you have it all. I did no research.
I saved a lot.
I did no research for this, so
And I also, like I mentioned previously, I didn't read any of these, so I can be genuinely
I
shocked
figured you would have
as
just add them in there, but
I didn't want to read it because I didn't want to like get rid of my initial reaction to some of the things that were being said. I was like, this is gonna be raw, authentic.
This is gonna be interesting because like I've seen some, but I guarantee we're gonna see something I've never seen before.
These are like new ones though.
This one goes out to you, Piper. You suggested this, and we're doing it for you because you couldn't be here today.
We heard your voice. We are now doing.
Your voice has been heard.
Your voice has been heard.
Do you want to like go back and forth and read them?
I mean, doesn't matter.
I'll just do that way.
All right. Okay. So the first one. Am I the sphincter for not forgiving my fiance? What are you saying? Yes or no? Are we team yes or no for now? And then we'll make our final
for
at
not
the end.
Forgiving?
I'm going to say no.
I'll say no because I guarantee you that answer is going to change, but
it's probably a man.
There's no context behind that, so it's hard to base an opinion off of that, but go ahead.
All right. So I'm 28F and my fiance is 32M. We've been together for 4 years. So for some context, he has one child who he had at 16. She lives my fiance, and he had her at 20. He got a vasectomy as he didn't want any more kids. I never really wanted kids. My mindset was if I have one, I have one. If I don't, I don't. So I got pregnant. Ooh. I told him and he was pissed as he said I cheated on him. Am I allowed to say that? Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, that...
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, I was like, is that going to get demonetized? I told him and he was pissed as he said I cheated on him. He threw me out that same day. I was so sad and lonely. I was able to stay with my mother as she believed me. I lost a lot of my friends and got a bad reputation at work to now I work from home. My mom was able to talk to him into getting a DNA test at 18 weeks. He was the father. He was begging me to take him back and go live with him again and let him make it up to me. He has been doing very well of doing that. He set up a whole nursery and he goes to every doctor appointment, everything. I really want to forgive him. I really do, as he seems like he will make a good father and his daughter is so excited for her little sister as she wants to plan. All I do is just remember how when I had my morning sickness, my mother took care of me, not him. How when I needed to go to the hospital, my mother took me, not him. And he didn't even come to see me. I don't know. I've been breaking down so much because of this. I just don't know if I should forgive him and try to put it past us. My best friend said I should just let the past be in the past and focus on the baby. While my mother thinks we should just break up. If I can't forgive him, so am I the pooter hole for not forgiving him here?
So it said that he had a vasectomy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I mean, I understand the like. If that was me in the situation, you know, I had a vasectomy and my fiance at the time was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." Like your initial thing is like, "There's no way," because you know I had this operation on that should prevent.
But they're not 100%.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
And that's one thing. Me being me, I understand that they're not 100%. So
you think
like
the doctor would talk to him about this as well? Like, hey, just so you know, there's a chance.
So I don't agree with the 100% jumping to the "you cheated on me" and like accusation.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think like obviously it's a big thing to be like, yeah, I'm pregnant. You're not supposed to be because I had this done.
Yeah.
A lot of emotion goes into that, and you know, kicking you out and all that stuff. I mean, I
feel like she's not in the wrong for having this feeling.
No,
but I
no,
feel like
definitely
that's something that needs to be worked on.
She definitely is not in the wrong for feeling like she can't forgive him, but I don't think it's something that's completely unforgivable, given the fact that once he found out that, you know, that wasn't the case, he completely turned around, you know? Like, he was doing all the things he could, going to the, you know, the appointments, making all this stuff and everything, and being there.
He did make it up.
So, like, I feel like, yeah, it is a valid thing to feel like, I don't know if I can, but I feel like that's something that you two should talk about and be like, this is how I'm feeling. Like, how can we work on that type of thing?
I feel like he should have immediately like jumped that gun.
Yeah, there's also that part that
because you can easily go to the doctor where they do a sperm count. It's so easy to do because there are times when
there's other options than to immediately
fail.
Say, you know, cheating, get out, and I'm done with you.
It is weird that it's been 12 years and then your sperm finally decided.
Yeah,
I'm back, shoddy.
That is the part that is like after, especially, you know, that long of a time period. But I mean,
Well, I think there's only like a 25% chance of you actually falling pregnant per cycle. So it's, you know what I mean? Like maybe they're just lucky for.
It happens, and I'm sure that's not the only instances that have happened. But
plus, also, how long have they been together though? You know what I mean? Has he been shooting blanks the whole time, or have they recently just been like careless with it?
Yeah,
that's another issue, and he just never knew.
Yeah, definitely, he should not have like immediately jumped to it, but I don't feel like she's a jerk for not forgiving him.
I don't think she's a pooter hole. But I think she's valid in her feelings.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's definitely something.
But you have to work on.
Definitely something that can be worked on.
Yes.
That's where, like, you know, her friend saying stay together, her mom saying break up, like, you can't really listen to any outside sources when it comes to that, because that's ultimately something between the two people. Because you're always going to have people that are going to tell you, do that, don't do that, do that, don't do that. And like, how do you choose between your best friend and your mother?
Well, it's so hard because they both obviously love her and they have different stances on it. Like one is like, it's your family. You can't just leave your family.
Yeah,
and then
like
the other one's like, and then the mom is like, I am your family as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, and she did do the dad role for 18 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah. So I don't think she's a pooter hole.
Pooter hole.
That's completely valid response. And, you know, I mean, I'm hoping that they worked it out or something.
Hopefully. This one was
I don't know if there was
posted.
any, like, update on that or not, but when was it posted?
It just looks like a bunch of comments. It was posted yesterday, a day ago.
Oh.
So this is just happening. A lot of the ones I have are fresh.
If you're out here, you know, give us that update.
We wish you the best of luck. Hope your child is happy and healthy.
Yeah. Give us that update. Let us know what's going on.
So, honestly, if she's around the 18 weeks, she should be finding out the gender. Hopefully, you guys get what you want. I doubt she's listening, but go girl.
We'll put the link in the podcast in the comments. We'll be like, hey, listen to this. We talked about your story.
828F.
All right, what do we got?
So that's the one I did. The first one's the one I did. So you can click.
Okay.
I just go in order so we don't mess anything up.
So what was the? Am I
the pooter hole?
Am I the
sphincter?
pooter hole for telling my boyfriend that he needs to floss?
No. I feel like if you. Sorry, I moved. I creaked it. Oh, did I? Sorry. Oh, did I grab yours?
How did you manage to?
I don't know.
Oh, because it got stuck around your foot.
Ah!
She's over here breaking all my cords here.
I didn't break it. I just got caught up in the moment of flossing. I feel like that's one of the things where it's, if you're respectful about it, if you're like, hey, Boo Bear, hey, Bay, can you please floss? Your dentist recommends it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you're not.
God, I just read the first line.
Oh, God. It's going to be great, isn't it?
All right. Are we ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
My boyfriend, 24, and I. Well, so I'm 24, so I'm a male 24.
Yes, assuming. Male 24.
And then I, 18, female. Huh?
If you're 24 and you don't know how to floss, because you are a 24-year-old male.
Yes.
I assume you know how to floss.
I do know how to floss. And I do floss.
That is very good.
Okay. Have been together for 9 months. In these 9 months, I've noticed signs of vaginal yeast infection every now and then UTIs way more often. There are days where his breath isn't that pleasant, but I always thought, who am I to judge? I never questioned it and assumed maybe he just ate beforehand or something. I can't read. That's my problem, is I can't read. There came to a point where he slept over. This person also can't, like,
a lot of them that I've noticed.
There came to a point where he slept over my house, and in the morning, we both went to brush our teeth together. I noticed that there was a very not normal amount of blood when he spit out his toothpaste, and I asked if he was okay. He said yes, and he asked me why, and I explained why. He brushed me off, and then I went to floss, and I am unsure if it is the correct word, but it seemed like he shamed me for it. Ew, why are you doing that?
What?
And I asked him what he meant, and he asked me why was I flossing. I was in disbelief and told him why it's important. He was weirded out, but we moved forward.
I'm hoping that she was doing the dance and not actually flossing her teeth, because if he's going, ew, why are you doing that to flossing your teeth?
Last week, I saw something slimy in his teeth, and I pointed it out because I didn't think he noticed, and he said it was probably plaque. I was in shock, and he thought that was normal. His excuses are it makes him bleed and that he hasn't flossed in about 4 years now. I told him that he needs to start for his oral health to reduce the amount of canker sores he gets and for his gums to stop bleeding. He got really offended and said I was being disrespectful. He is currently being very dry with me. Am I the sphincter?
If she
You are not. You are very much not.
Right. You're in the right here, girlfriend.
Being a sphincter. That is 100% on him. Like, for being like, imagine you just say you're flossing and your husband goes, ew, what are you doing? And not the dance, like you said, like flossing your teeth.
I was
like,
hoping she was talking about the dance.
I don't think she was.
No. No, she wasn't.
Imagine telling your boyfriend, why don't you floss? And it's just
she's just in the bathroom for like 5 minutes, staring at herself in the mirror.
Oh, and he says ew, and that he hasn't done it because it makes his gums bleed, because it makes your gums bleed because you haven't done it. Or you're not doing it right.
Yeah,
like your gums shouldn't be bleeding when you're flossing your teeth.
If you go sicko mode in there, if you go like hard, it obviously it's gonna bleed.
Well, she said he spit up like in a big amount of blood. Like obviously he just does not know how to brush his teeth, and for two, obviously does not know how to floss because he said he hasn't done it in 4 years, and I guarantee it was longer than 4 years.
Yeah, probably. That's the worst
yeah,
part.
no, I don't think that is just 100% wrong on his point right there. Like that's awful.
It's stuck. There we go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're not the Peter hole here, girlfriend.
Like 9 months. You need to, I'm not saying rethink your decisions here, but maybe if that's how he's acting towards you flossing, and I mean obviously it's causing you health issues as well. I'm not sure why, but.
Not sure why.
But yeah, no, that is nope. You're good. You're 100% in the right there. That is not good.
Okay, so this one's called "Today I Fricked Up by Passing Out" from Viagra on a First Date. Should I read this one?
Just go for it.
Okay. So today I fricked up by passing out from Viagra on a First Date. Last night, I, 28 male, booked a hotel to hook up with this really cute girl I met on Bumble. Long story short, this was my first hookup in over 6 years, so I was feeling quite a bit nervous about the whole thing, to the point I was experiencing some ED in the days approaching the date, which had never happened to me before. That's what they all say. I told my closest friend about the situation, and he gave me a 25 milligram Viagra, advertising I cut it in half and take it for about 30 minutes before hooking up. Well, the moment arrives and I take it, I decide not to tell my date to avoid the obvious embarrassment of ED. But instead of hooking up right away, we decide to go grab a drink. We're sitting at the bar while chatting and sipping cocktails when I start to notice my face get flushed. I ignore it and continue the convo. Pretty soon, I start feeling dizzy. The oxygen starts to be sucked out of the room. I have a history of vasovagal syncope, so I know the signs of when I'm about to pass out. I took 2 steps off the bar stool and collapsed onto the restaurant floor. I woke up in a pile of sweat, seeing my date and this big guy standing over me. They both helped me sit in a booth while my legs elevated, and a waitress brings me some water. Obviously, I was quite embarrassed, but I tried my best to own up to the sheer absurdity of the situation by cracking jokes while I recovered. Luckily, this girl was super cool about it, but we understandably did not have sex after that. We just went back to the hotel, smoked some weed, ate Taco Bell, talked, and watched some documentaries, which honestly, pretty chill and fun on its own.
Yeah.
TLDR, don't take Viagra on a first date or without talking to a doctor first.
Oh. Like, did he have to explain, like, why he passed out to them when he woke up? Like, I would assume. Or was it like...
If the ambulance was called, yes. But if he...
From what it sounds like, the ambulance wasn't called.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he just went down, he could easily just be like, oh, no, I get lightheaded sometimes.
Unless it was like a noticeable thing.
Unless he was already...
They're like, my dude, what are you doing?
Unless he was pitching the tent right there.
I was trying to think of the way to say it without like... Oh my gosh. I mean, it sounds like even though they didn't do what they planned on doing, they still had a good night.
Maybe they found true love because
Taco Bell
of this.
And just talking, like...
I hope they found true love because of this funny incident.
I hope that they can look back on this story and be like, man,
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother. So,
edited version of the show. Imagine.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, it's a funny story to tell your kids in the future, you know? To give them advice what not to do.
Yeah.
When you're going on a first date.
Also, this was his first time ever, which I feel like because a lot of medications are not even allowed to drink, so I don't know why. He was like, it's a really great idea.
He went to that and then was drinking.
Yeah, so he took it.
He was gone.
Yeah, plus he's already inclined to passing out, the syncope. So he literally said he was.
Man really just set himself up for failure doing that.
He saw every sign, and I'm surprised a friend wasn't like, hey, don't drink on this, like or maybe it was like a common sense thing, like don't drink on this. And
I'm assuming maybe he would assume it was a common sense thing, like don't drink.
Yeah, because like no medication you're allowed to drink on.
Yeah,
but
oh my goodness,
he full sent it. And it looks like they had a really great night. We talked about it instead, though.
Like I said, he still had a good night. Like I said, maybe not what he originally planned out for, but he had a good night with someone. So I mean,
they found a romantic bond.
I don't see a bad in that.
Honestly,
granted, yeah, it started off a little rocky.
Go him.
But you still had a whoa.
That one's Would I Be?
Was I being...
No, would I be? Right? Yeah. Would I be the sphincter?
Oh, okay. Would I be the sphincter for lying about why I don't want to be a bridesmaid?
I'm going to say yeah.
I'm going to say yeah. I think if you don't want to be a bridesmaid, just be like, hey,
because I'm assuming you guys are close enough to the point that she's making you a bridesmaid in her biggest day of her life.
Well,
you know
yeah.
What I
So
mean?
Kayla and I, both 32 female, have been friends since elementary school.
Oh yeah, you guys.
I feel like you
guys
definitely
should be close
are
enough.
Close enough. Like, obviously, to be like, listen, I don't want to.
Regardless of the reason, like if your guys are like ride or dies for life.
This is a long one too. Holy crap! All right.
I literally didn't click on any of these, so I'm not sure of the length of a lot of these.
Let's see. Kayla and I, both 32 female, have been friends since elementary school. When she got engaged this Christmas, she didn't ask me to be a bridesmaid because it was an automatic given. I love Kayla, but the problem is that her wedding is taking place overseas and would cost more than I think is reasonable. Kayla's fiance is from a tiny, far north Scandinavian town. It is where their wedding is happening. A couple weeks ago, due to some family pressures, they had changed the date from midsummer next year to midsummer this year, about 4 months away. Between flights, the hotel, most everything in the town had already been booked for midsummer. Okay, that's spare room, including spare room, couch, families. Okay, you give the whole thing. Okay. The rental car, the bridesmaid dress, the full traditional outfit required to be worn for some of the events, pet boarding, as well as general incidentals, and we are looking at a minimum $8,000.
Oh my god!
That is a
couple
pretty
months
penny.
That's a couple months of income, and for some people, like they don't even make that much.
Kayla was very apologetic about the change when she announced it, but she had not acknowledged just how big of an impact this is. My husband and I have good jobs and are lucky that we didn't have to worry about the day-to-day expenses of life, but we still have to be thoughtful and save for any larger purchases or travels. For the last 4 years, we had been saving for a 10th anniversary trip, a 3-week tour around Japan. Oh, I'm like doing this all in one breath, and it's not doing well for me.
Breathe.
And had just booked flights when the date change was announced. Oh, so they just booked the flight for their Japan thing. And now this is being changed.
Oh, no.
Kayla didn't know I just booked flights, and when she broke the news, she actually said, "You're so lucky. You've been saving all that money for a vacation anyway." Here is where I might be the sphincter. I also had a destination wedding. My husband and I got married in Alaska right out of college when most of our friends, including Kayla, didn't have particularly good or secure jobs. We know now that it wasn't exactly fair of us, but we split the rental of a big house, and all of our friends, and flights to Alaska aren't anywhere near the $2,000 each it would to fly us to Kayla's wedding. I'm scared that if I tell her the truth of why we can't go, it's too dang expensive, it will ruin our friendship. I could see why it would. She was a bridesmaid for me for a while, far less financially secure. Well, I butchered that so bad. She was a bridesmaid for me while far less financially secure than we are now, and she knows we have a lot of money saved for travel. I fear she would question if our friendship was not worth canceling our Japan plans and flights. Our friendship means a lot to me, but I don't think it's fair to plan a wedding this expensive to attend and expect me to cancel our dream trip to accommodate it. I don't want to risk it, so my idea was to lie and say we have to do a major home repair, quote unquote, fixing the foundation maybe. That will cost all of what we had saved plus more. Then when it did come time for the Asia trip, we would say we were gifted the trip by my husband's parents. I know that there was a risk she would find out the truth, me even angrier. Is the risk worth it to avoid telling her the truth? No. I feel like I know, like...
This one's hard.
It's definitely hard because, like, I understand the, not wanting to ruin a friendship, but I feel like since you guys have been friends in elementary school, I feel like she would understand if you'd be like, hey, like, explain you've already previously before she changed the dates, we had just booked our flights for, our anniversary trip, which I think they said it was the 10-year anniversary trip or something like that. Like, that's a big milestone. That's not, like, something small.
But the problem with that, though, is they could have easily postponed it unless they weren't able to. But I feel like if they weren't able to, they'd be, hey, I'm sorry, we already put the money for the vacation because we didn't think you were getting married that soon. And if we weren't able to...
Yeah, just say that. Like, especially
with how soon it is, because, like, if they're literally getting married, like, 4 months from now...
Yeah. When it was supposed to be next year.
Yeah, like that. And, like, obviously, it probably cost them a lot of money to cram in that quick. But
$8,000.
Well, I'm saying for the bride and the groom, because they have to book the venue and pay for the catering, the flowers, and the dress, and the tuxes, you know what I mean? So, like, that's a lot of money that they're spending. But I feel like if you can postpone it, I say I would. You know what I mean? Because that's your best friend's wedding.
Yeah.
And...
I just unplugged myself.
But, like, that's your best friend's wedding, so you try to go to it. But if you can't get the money back, I say... You just got to break it to her. Because, like, you're going to slip up. And that's the problem. Like, imagine, 10 years down the line.
I would definitely not go down the route of lying because
you're gonna
one way or another it's going to come back to you.
Plus,
one way or another.
Plus, what if, like, you meet the in-laws family and they're there and they're like, oh, I heard you gifted the Japan wedding.
Huh?
Yeah, and then they're just like...
Yeah. Definitely don't lie.
Like, that's something too big to lie about. It's not like a cute little white lie. Like, oh, yeah, your dress looks cute. No, this is...
I think the effort of trying is definitely there. Like, you can definitely at least attempt. It seems like she just doesn't want to attempt.
Yeah.
Which is kind of going onto the sphincter side, but there's also, like, you're going to be more of that if you lie and say that this is what...
Especially if they find out about it. Yeah. Like, that's going to end your friendship.
I would say still be open with them. Be like, hey... This is, like, difficult decision, but, like, I would still attempt to make it to the wedding. Especially as you guys have been friends since elementary school. And they're 32 at this point.
Well, that's all that money on top of the vacation. $8,000 plus the vacation. So if it's, like, they're both $8,000, that's $16,000. You know what I mean?
I think she said it was $8,000 for them both collectively.
For both the wedding and the vacation?
No, that's just for the wedding.
Well, what about the vacation though? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. They had said that they were saving up for 4 years for the vacation.
Yeah, so like still that's a lot of money.
For a week-long trip in
Well, no, 3 weeks, I think.
Was it? I don't know. It was a long trip to Japan.
And I feel like that's something you can't lie about.
Yeah.
That's too big. That's too big.
No,
I'm sorry,
you can't just like I know parents are that nice, but I know there's parents out there that are that nice to gift an entire trip, so I can't say that, but yeah, definitely don't lie.
What if the parents were poor? She's just like, where did I get this money?
She knows the parents. What do you mean?
She's like, Bill and Judy do not have that money. Liar. She calls them out right away.
Yeah, no, don't lie. You will be a bigger sphincter if you lie about it. But, I mean, I don't think she's... I don't know. Just don't lie. That's really all I have to say about that. Just be honest.
No, especially if you guys were like as close. You know, I feel like there's an understanding. If you can't get the refund
she's
for it.
ultimately like just assuming that the person's going to be upset.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Well, if you can't get the money back, you can't get the money back.
Yeah, like she can't get mad. Like the bride can't get mad at that. Like,
and you can always postpone your anniversary because a lot of people do it. You know what I mean? Like, just do it for a couple months afterwards. I
just think that she's just
the next year.
She's getting a little crazy, just assuming that she's going to be upset without knowing any prior. Especially, like I said, especially being friends for that long. I feel like there's some sort of bond between them. Like, yeah, okay, listen, this is what's going on. Okay, cool. Like, well,
But that's something you can talk about too.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
like you can easily bounce ideas back and forth if you're both willing.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Am I the pooter hole for keeping a caricature of my girlfriend and saying she's being ridiculous?
Yeah.
I would say.
I'm gonna say yeah, just for the fact that like if you're with somebody,
I'm torn between this one because it's a caricature. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're gonna make fun of you.
It is a caricature, but
I'm just gonna say yes.
I'm sticking with the yes, and I'll give my reasoning once I hear more of the story.
Just based on him saying, I'm assuming it's a him.
I'm gonna assume.
I'm just gonna assume.
Don't want
to. Especially with the, like calling her ridiculous.
That's uncalled for.
Like I feel like you can easily make options for that. Like hide it. You can keep it. Just don't
have it.
Don't frame it on the wall.
From what I'm hearing is he has it like open.
Yeah.
And to the visible, not to the public, but visible to people that come over.
All right. It's actually a character of both of us, but she's the problem, thus the title. Ooh, he's already starting off strong.
Wait, who is the problem?
She's the problem. The girlfriend is the problem, thus the title. I'm saying she's like the problem with it. Like how, I guess.
Oh, so she has a problem with the girl in the picture.
No, I think it's her. It's her in the picture, but she's the problem, and so she has a problem with it. I think that's what it means. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Just go ahead, read it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm thinking too hard into this, and
you're going too deep.
It's hurting my brain.
Okay. A couple weeks ago, my girlfriend and I decided to take a walk by the beach and grab some ice cream. We spotted an artist doing cartoonistic drawings of people/couples and figured we'd get one ourselves. The couple before us got a relatively cute, a bit boring, I might mention, looking cartoon of the two of them. But I knew that with these guys, the only guarantee is that the outcome is unpredictable. So yeah, my guard starts drawing us while we just keep talking and eating our ice creams. Eventually he finishes and shows us the drawing, and it looks sick AF. I so wish I could upload it so you could see what I'm talking about. But that would obviously be a bad move, seeing how she feels about it. At least he's not uploading it. We'll give him one brownie point there.
You got one. You got a little tick above, but
it doesn't. It's still the bare minimum. I feel like in that case, like obviously there's a problem with it. Yeah. Okay, I've got big ass ears, so in the cartoon I'm like a hybrid human Dumbo, and my girlfriend looks more realistic, like herself. But her nose has been egregiously, I can't speak, egregiously exaggerated. She has a slightly bigger nose than normal, but it's only noticeable when it's pointed out, actively compared with the others.
Okay, wait. Can you read the title for this one again real quick?
Am I the pooter hole for keeping a caricature of my girlfriend and saying she's being ridiculous?
Okay, so I heard that completely wrong. If I'm being totally honest, I heard that as...
Did I say it wrong?
You might have said it wrong. I don't know. But like I heard...
Roll the cameras back.
I heard keeping a caricature of my ex and my girlfriend doesn't like it and she's being ridiculous. That's what I heard.
I think you might have heard it wrong because I definitely didn't make that way words.
I definitely heard it wrong.
I can barely say the word egregiously.
I'm like, wait, so what is the... Okay.
I can barely say the word egregiously.
Once I'm listening to the story, I'm like, okay, I understand a little more. So he's keeping the caricature and she doesn't like it.
Yes.
And he's saying that's ridiculous. Okay.
She's being ridiculous.
I'm on the right page. Let's go.
Okay.
Back to it.
So she has a slightly bigger nose than normal, but it's only noticeable when it's pointed out / actively compared with others. Anyways, I figured she hated it when she was silent during the reveal, then walked off. I paid the man for his work, took the art, and then went after my girlfriend. She explained in the car that he basically reignited her insecurity over her nose and didn't want to see. All right, cool. Understood. But I already paid for it, so I just kept it in my cubicle at work. Long story short, she saw the art was in my cubicle, and we got in a tiff about it because I apparently shouldn't have kept it after she told me how it made her feel. I said she was being ridiculous since it's in my cubicle and couldn't just throw it away. Am I the sphincter here?
I mean, I understand, but I don't think maybe I don't know what to say. Like, I genuinely, like...
I don't. My issue with it is, like...
She verbally told you how she felt about the picture. I feel like if you were going to keep it put away. Don't have, like, obviously...
Don't have it on display.
Obviously,
He put it on display.
It's in his cubicle, but it's still seen by others.
It's in his cubicle.
Yeah, like, she let you know how she felt about the picture. That should have been the clear sign of, okay, I can't have this out.
Well, there's also the other point of, whenever you're getting a caricature done, they're going
That's why I'm struggling with what to say. Because
obviously, like, if you, like, because I got a caricature done of me and my husband, and his sister and her 2 friends got a caricature done, and he went all out for my sister-in-law's nose. Yeah, like, he like toucaned that nose on her.
That's the point. Like,
it's a funny drawing.
Obviously, it's a funny drawing.
And I get the insecurity.
Yeah, like, I totally. That's why, like, I'm struggling with, like, what I want to say.
She can't get mad about it because it pointed out her insecurity, but she does have a right for feeling.
Yeah,
like, it's ridiculous that he put it on display like that.
Definitely should not have been put on display, and I feel like you're definitely being a jerk for saying she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think this is the boyfriend writing this, correct?
I don't know. It doesn't say if it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend, so it just doesn't say. It just says my girlfriend.
Okay. Well,
he doesn't ever mention, or they don't ever mention gender, so I'm just gonna assume it's a boyfriend because I feel like a man would only justify himself in that way of being like, you're being ridiculous for getting mad that I put it on display like that around all my coworkers. I think
definitely saying ridiculous, calling it ridiculous is a different thing, and that is 100% putting you in the wrong in the situation. But I feel like you shouldn't have had it up if she told you how she felt about it.
Don't put it on display. If anything, hide it in your house. Because obviously you did pay for it. You don't want to waste that money.
Put it in your drawer or something. Like,
I don't know. Because, like, the one I got done, it was $20. And that was, like, without the border and everything. So I don't know if you paid with a border. I don't know if other places do that.
Yeah.
But especially since it's, like, a beach one. I don't know. I assume it might be more because they do, like, huge ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't say she's ridiculous. Yeah. And take the picture down.
Just hide it.
And then you're okay.
Hide it in your house. Put it in your closet. Hang it up in your closet if you must. Yeah. Behind all the clothes where she can't see.
Just don't have it to where she sees it or other people are going to see it, because then it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, because she did voice her thoughts on it.
Yes. Uh-oh. Am I the sphincter for breaking up with my boyfriend after a failed marriage proposal?
I'm going to say yeah, because you don't necessarily have to break up after a proposal. But we'll come back.
I'll say yes, but
we'll swing around.
It just says advice needed. I am 44 and have been dating my boyfriend, male 38, for a little over a year. My nose is like super stuffy right now. Background: we discussed what we both wanted in life before we got serious. I've been married twice, both ended badly, and I told him that I had no intention of ever getting married again. He's been married once before, and it ended badly for him. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are grown adults and live on their own with their own partners. I still have a 16-year-old at home, but what this allows me... Oh my gosh, I can't. It's just so small. I stumble over my words, and I just feel bad. I still have a 16-year-old at home, but this allows me more freedom than him to do what I want. He has 2 kids, a boy age 11, a girl age 9. Now, I had no problem meeting his kids and being a friend to them, but he started referring to me as their mom. I told him he shouldn't say things like that, and he kept saying he was going to marry me and referring to me as his fiance. Again, I told him not to say this. In all the time we had been together, he had only been to my house about 4 times. He always has an excuse as to why he can't come over and stay. I don't have anyone to take care of the kids. Oh, that's his excuse, is I don't have anyone to take care of the kids. He lives with his mother, so I would go to his house, which is about 40 minutes away. Anytime we went anywhere, we always took my car because he would say he didn't have enough gas. This man makes more money than I do, so last week we were shopping in Walmart for a few things and I needed for my house. When he when he pulls you over to the jewelry counter. Oh, I'm assuming when he pulls me over to the jewelry counters, it's just spelled wrong completely.
Yeah.
He pins me up against the counter and tells me to pick one.
Oh.
Not in Walmart.
I've changed my mind already.
I told him no, I don't want a ring. We go back and forth, and I finally get free. I finish getting what I needed, check out, and leave. When we get to his house, I tell him I have to leave. The whole thing just brings up all the abuse from previous relationships that he knows about. Later that night, I tell him I can't do this anymore. I'm done. He threatened to come to my house, but he didn't because he never comes over.
He didn't have anyone to watch the kids.
So I flat out tell him I cannot marry you. He replied, "Why not?" and that he can hold off on it. So I remind him that I told him in the beginning I didn't have any intentions of ever getting married again. He claims he doesn't remember this and says he can wait. Like I'm going to change my mind. As the whole say how much I'm hurting. I hate that people just can't type or make a single sentence that makes sense.
She's angrily typing this on her iPhone.
As the whole say how much I'm hurting him and hard this is on him. So again, I remind him I don't want to get married. And after the stunt he pulled in the store in front of his daughter, I have nothing more to say to him. Am I the sphincter? No.
I've changed my mind on this.
No, that is.
You told him from the beginning, and if he's not listening to you, that's his problem.
Yeah. Intentions were 100% stated clear that you had been married, what? She said 3 times?
2.
2 or, yeah.
She's been married 2 and he's been married 1.
She had no intention on getting married again. Like, that's... If someone says that after she's 44, like you're at that point, you're really set on what you want in your life. If you don't want to get married, that's it.
Yeah, you've already done it.
You can't... like just disregard that and think, oh, it's going to be different. And then obviously like he kept bringing things up saying, oh, I'm going to marry you. You're my fiance. My kids call you mom. Like my kid calls you mom. Or she had 2 kids. Yeah. He had a son and a daughter.
I think.
Like,
yeah.
And she says, don't say that. Like, I'm not your wife. I'm not their mom, which she's not.
Yeah.
She's not his wife. She's not his fiance. She's not those kids' mom. So like, they shouldn't be calling her mom, and he shouldn't be referring to them as mom, because she doesn't do that with her kids.
Well, he also knows she's a victim of abuse in some regard,
and pins her to the counter at Walmart.
And like another thing, he makes more than her. Where he's living with his mother. What is he paying all of the bills there? Like, why doesn't he have money to at least, give her like a 20 for gas? Granted, that's only going to get you like barely a gallon.
At this point, 20 is like a quarter of a tank. That's
gallon
nothing.
And a half. But still, it's something. It's better than just being like, oh, you have to drive the 40 minutes
especially he makes more
time.
money than me thing. You're still living with your mom?
Well, maybe he's paying all of her bills.
I mean, yeah.
We don't know the situation. We don't have the context of that.
But him saying that he doesn't have someone to take over the kids as an excuse to not come over to her house.
Why doesn't he bring the kids?
Exactly. She has a 16-year-old, I guess a 16, that can still interact with another kid.
Yeah.
And they're 2 little young kids. They entertain themselves half the time.
Yeah, honestly, just set them in a room with a couple toys.
Like, kids entertain themselves, especially at 9 and 11, I think they said it was. Like, that's a very young age where they are very capable of entertaining themselves. And you put him in a room, or like that he can't stay over. I'm sure she can set up something for them to sleep in.
Well, no. Why can't you just leave at a normal time?
Exactly.
Like, is she supposed to just leave her 16-year-old home all the time alone? Like, I'm sure the 16-year-old wants to see his mom.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just, no, she's definitely not.
No,
I think,
changed my mind.
I think you breaking up with them was the right choice. Especially, the whole abuse
the blatant
and
disrespect.
Him. You never said that. Yeah.
He doesn't listen to her, which is obvious from that statement. He doesn't care. He doesn't respect her.
Oh, you never said that.
And then he's telling her it's okay. He'll wait.
You'll change your mind, I promise.
It's like the people that go into a relationship knowing their partner doesn't want kids and then tries changing their mind.
Yeah,
it's the same idea.
I think that's why it's very important for in a relationship to be very to have that, what do you want?
Well, she obviously communicated what she wanted. She obviously laid it out for this man, and he was just
said, don't want married.
She's
he's
like, that sucks.
You my wife. No.
Pick a Walmart ring, baby.
Not even that.
In the least romantic way.
A Walmart ring throws against the counter and says, pick one in front of your daughter.
He could have very casually, like, been like, oh, like, you know, like, a very casual way of being like, oh, like, if we were to get engaged, what ring? And then...
But he shouldn't have done it to begin with, because...
But, like, I'm saying, if he forgot, he genuinely forgot, he could have been like, hey, what ring? And then she'd be like, no, I don't want a ring. I don't want to be engaged. And then he could be like, oh, okay,
Did
cool.
Did say how long
and
they were together for?
I don't think so.
Because I wonder how long this, like, went on back and forth. I thought it said at the beginning.
A little over a year.
Okay, so if you forgot that amount of time, and from what it seems like, she was constantly reminding him because he was making comments, he had no excuse to forget that. If I'm being completely honest.
Also, what's the rush for the marriage? Obviously, they both had a failed.
Yeah, you guys both came from failed marriages. Her being twice, you being once, both ended badly.
Also, my thing, another thing. How long has he been divorced from?
How long has she been divorced from? That's the thing too.
Yeah, how long has this divorce been?
You're telling me that the mother of his kids can't take the kids? I'm assuming maybe he has like custody over them or something, but
I don't know. But
yeah, no. Verdict is not the sphincter.
She is not.
She's not. I think every person so far has just been in the right.
There's a victim,
except for the bridesmaid
one.
girl.
Yeah,
she was borderline on that edge.
Yeah, she was on a very thin line there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, wasn't the guy the last one was too with the caricature.
Oh yeah, the character he was the.
Yeah, he was.
All right. So, am I the pooter hole here for not coming to terms with the fact that my wife cheated on me 14 years ago before our marriage? Yes. Or no, you're not.
Yeah, no. Read that one more time because I was talking and I distracted myself.
Am I the pooter hole here for not coming to terms with the fact that my wife cheated on me 14 years ago before our marriage? Why'd you marry her?
Yeah. I mean,
That's a trust thing right there.
If you're still 14 years later and married, still haven't come to the terms. I mean, if this for me, like, let's just read the story before I. Okay. I want to hear more input before I say anything.
So, I, 35 male, am married to my wife, 37F, for 11 years and together for 14. Ooh, he got himself an older lady. We have a beautiful 7-year-old daughter, and our marriage has been great without any major problems until last year. Last year, I learned that my wife cheated on me before our marriage. One of her friends became religious and confessed her actions to me, which had me confront my wife. She was shocked that I learnt it. They keep putting learnt.
I learnt it today.
She was shocked that I learned it and apologized profusely about her actions. However, she said it's not something important now because we have been going strong and have a family together. She told me I should come to terms with it since it happened 4 months into us being exclusive, and that she was...
How many months?
4 months into being exclusive. Okay. So, it happened 4 months into being exclusive, and she was a stupid girl out of college back then. My mind told me the same. It happened 14 years ago, and we're happy right now. I decided to forgive her and continue our usual life. Reality was not that great. My mental took a big hit. I realized it's not something that happened 14 years ago for me. The cheating happened for me when my wife confirmed it. I was less confident and could not have sex with my wife. I just could not get an erection for her. This turned into feeling disgusted being around her. I even took a DNA test and an STD test secretly. Thankfully, our daughter is mine, and I am clear of an STD. Then a year of intense individual therapy started for me. I realized I needed to change somehow. I was not the same person I used to be. I also communicated my feelings to my wife after pushing a bit. We started going to couples counseling too. However, at the end of everything, I decided to proceed with divorce. Here are my reasonings. 1. She not only cheated back then, but then lied to me for 14 years. She did not confess the action herself. Even though she apologized, she dismissed the fact by saying it's not important anymore. 2. Young me was robbed of having a choice. Cheating was, and still is, one of the biggest deal breakers for me. If I knew it back then, I would have broke it off. I am happy with my life, and I'm glad that our daughter came to world. She is a light that shines the brightest for me. One of the biggest reasons I keep living, but still was robbed of the choice back then. I don't know what IC and MC. Nice. Individual counseling and marriage counseling? IC and MC could not our problems. I don't know that one. Is it individual counseling?
I think, yeah, individual counseling and marriage counseling.
Okay.
I'm assuming. I'm going to assume.
We're taking a shot here in the dark. Individual counseling and marriage counseling could not, I'm going to say fix our problems and my feelings towards her. It's just a blank spot.
Oh.
It also started affecting family life, which could affect our daughter. I think our daughter would be better off having us as co-parents instead of living in a broken family environment where consistent arguments are present. And last one, our sex life is basically dead for me. We do not have sex, but I feel those women on film series that just lay and look at the ceiling waiting for it to be over. The only difference is that I am a man. I do not even have non-sexual gestures anymore. Last week, I had to sit down with my wife and explained everything I wrote here in detail. My feelings, reasonings, and some other private things. I've been talking to a lawyer for the last month. The papers are almost finalized. 50-50 custody, 50-50 assets, sharing, and as amicable as possible. I explained everything thoroughly and clearly to her. She freaked out and had a panic attack. We went to the ER last night. She is begging for me to reconsider and not throw away 14 years. However, even though I would like to stay, it will result in us being roommates and have a broken family environment for our daughter. Am I in the wrong here?
I don't think so.
Everyone in the comments is like, this is not am I the pooter hole question? That one, I don't know. That's just like a personal choice. Like if
it definitely is a personal choice, and it like when you first read it, I assumed that he knew the entire 14 years, but I mean, even still finding out 14 years down the line that 4 months into our relationship that you cheated. Like he said, that's a deal breaker for if that's not a deal breaker you.
I think the main issue is the fact that it was never brought up in. I wouldn't necessarily call it lying unless they had the discussion like, hey, did you ever cheat on me?
Yeah, no, because he said that she lied, which
if she did lie, then it is the issue of lying, and then the fact that she did cheat 4 months into the relationship.
Yeah,
but that I feel like that's if it was talked about then. Especially because they were young.
Yeah, like right out of college.
Yeah, they would have been 20, 21. Or he would have been like 21. She would have been like 23. Mm-hmm. So I feel like because they're so young, they could have maybe talked through it. Potentially.
But still, like,
and it wouldn't have caused
I still
these
think
issues.
at that point, like 4 months in, you find that out. That's it.
Yeah.
Like
But some people
I can't even imagine
talking through it.
Like being with someone for 14 years and being married for 11 of those years.
Yeah.
Only to find out at that point that the relationship could not have happened if you would have known that she cheated on you.
Yeah, and your daughter wouldn't
have had a daughter and all this stuff. Like that's a shell shock.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm saying it has to be a shell shock to somebody. I'm not saying I've never.
I can't even imagine how he feels.
No, there's no amount of like him explaining how he feels to even truly understand how that guy feels. Like that's
you got to do what's best for you, and if that's what he believes is best for him, especially.
And I mean, he was saying like he thinks it's like obviously he's not connected with his wife anymore.
He felt out.
And I feel like him saying that he would rather especially for his kid.
Yeah,
like,
she's still so
not
young.
wanting your kid to live in a broken household is a very non-selfish thing to think. Like he thinks that working better as co-parents and doing it that way, which I've seen happen, and I know that works out for a lot of people.
Yeah,
and like thinking that rather than wanting to stay in a relationship where you're constantly getting in arguments with your wife over. This and that and this and that. Like, no kid wants to be around that.
Well, at that point, you would just become like roommates that are just legally.
He said,
we're
just going to end up being roommates. Like, obviously, he has no like actual feelings towards his wife anymore.
Yeah.
I understand that's like not,
That one's 50-50. It always depends on...
I guess that's more of a personal thing.
Whatever you believe is best for you, because if you're like, oh yeah, we can work through this because obviously it was so long ago. The child is mine. There's been no other instances of,
Yeah. I mean, obviously
stepping out of the relationship.
He did get, DNA tests and all that stuff. I mean, me personally, if that's what it was and it was 14 years ago and it was like a one-time thing, like I feel like I'd be able, as it would take time.
Yeah, a lot of trust. A lot
of trust and a lot of things, just because obviously he didn't hear it from her.
Yeah, that's also the problem.
He heard it from somebody else
who had a religious awakening.
Yeah, like you're not hearing it from the person that did it, and you only like get it confirmed by talking to them, being like, "Yeah, this is what happened." And like, yes, okay. And then it's like I said, I feel like that's definitely like a 50-50. It's just difficult.
I don't think he's the pooter hole here.
No,
just
definitely
based on the
not.
fact that like you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. Yeah. Like if you believe that you're not gonna stay, he wasn't happy in a happy marriage, and obviously he had that like 180, like his feelings dwindled for her, which is sad because they had a life together. Yeah. Over something done almost 15 years ago, which is so sad.
Still, that's like it's a
deal breaker.
100%. 100%.
Still so sad for that. Like
for both of them, for the kid, and just friends and family in general. Like
that's something I would just not want to find out about. Especially if it was like one time. If it was like a continual thing, I'd want to know.
Oh my, yeah.
If it was like a one-time thing, like a couple months in the relationship, I'd be like, just don't ever tell me.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like that was a different situation because someone was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this happened." And it's
God has came into my life, so now I'm gonna ruin your marriage.
I guarantee you that girl went to that friend and was like, "How dare you say something like that?"
They're no longer friends.
That person got ripped a new one because she told her husband that she cheated on him 4 months in the relationship. They're not friends. There's no way.
There's no way. These people are
they're still friends after that.
Especially like the rationale for it being like, "Oh yeah, I came back into my religious beliefs." Not even, it's not even like a valid, like it is a valid reason, but like dredging something up for that long ago. Oh,
it's almost like, it almost seems like that person
personal.
Was trying.
It seems like, personal.
Like she was trying to.
I don't know. Would you ever do that? Like if you were, like if you fell out of it a little bit and then came back, would you be like, "Oh yeah, by the way"?
If it wasn't me, no.
I don't know. I feel like that feels personal.
Like she said that she came to a religious awakening, which I understand that.
Yeah.
But why would you go and tell someone else's business because you like...
We're also not blaming the friend for outing the truth because obviously the truth is fine. But like it's just
so much.
It's such a weird timing to just bring it up.
I don't think that that personally wasn't her place to say anything.
I mean, but it does affect his life.
Yeah.
So it like, I feel I don't know. I feel like that's personal to be dredging that up from so long ago. You know what I mean?
It definitely is personal.
She did something to her. She stole that Kohl's 50/50 sale purse from her.
She went, "Hey, by the way."
No, but obviously the friend's not in the wrong for telling the truth. A lot of people want to know if they're being cheated on, which is no shame.
What? You have a button?
Yes.
What the?
I like the button. All right, leave me alone. Keeping me fun for it.
I was just like, I'm like trying to swipe it up and it wasn't working.
I kept my button. I'm scared to get the new iPhone because I don't want to get rid of my button. All right. Because whenever I wake up and throughout the day, I look like a different person. So I don't know if my face recognition's gonna work. So
it actually works really well.
Well, I feel like me going.
It works. I promise you, it does work.
I don't know. I'm scared.
I'm telling you.
I'm scared. I'm too much of a scaredy cat to do it. I'm scared to pull the button.
Oh my! Am I the what did you say last time?
I think I said pooter hole.
Am I the sphincter for not disclosing my will?
I'm gonna say no.
No, I feel
you find out when
you find out when you're dead.
Find out when I'm dead.
This was another long one. Okay. 58 male, was recently diagnosed with a terminal condition. Won't go into details, but it was the classical went in with a paper cut, got out with AIDS, cancer 2000.
Oh my God.
So I think he was just being like, he's trying to make it like a big thing because it is AIDS, cancer 2000.
He got
it all.
He got slammed with.
I got roughly a year and a half left. Oh my gosh. Okay.
That poor guy. Is it a man?
Yeah,
right?
58.
Okay, that's
58
what I thought.
male.
Oh.
Over time, I made a bunch of unwise decisions. I have multiple children with different women. I have 3 sons. Lance, 43 male, who has 2 daughters. Mark, 22 male, and Tony, 15 male. And 4 daughters. Cammie, 38 female.
So he had
who has 4 children.
Wait,
Linda,
he had his
30.
first kid at 15.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was doing the math on that. And
Yeah, I'm like, wait, where'd you see 15 from?
I was like,
and 4 daughters, Cammie, 38 female, who has 4 children, Linda, 30 female, Ronnie, 28 female, and Kathy, 24. Man, this band was pumping them out.
He's got, especially between the oldest and the youngest. That's
almost
a 20 years age gap.
So we have 15. So this is just youngest to
so
oldest.
he started having kids when he was 15.
22, 24, 28, 30, 43. Man was like, so his most recent one was 15. So he had a kid when he was 43.
That happens a lot though.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's just like he was still going for it.
I know. I went to kids in high school that their dads were like 60, 70. Yeah. Crazy.
Not going to lie here. I'll just say that I was only involved in raising Ronnie and Kathy. Their mom died when they were little, and I couldn't refuse to take them in.
Oh, wow. What a great guy.
So you only took care of 2 of your kids, but okay. Ronnie is starting her career in law, and Kathy recently got a degree in agriculture. 9 years ago, I also took in Mark, who was kicked out by his poopy stepdad. Mark decided against pursuing higher education. I own a ranch. It's not a little one, though, but we're managing just fine with the help of hired staff. We have about 500 heads of cattle, and not counting the horses. The ranch has been in my family for generations. I know for certain that the only children who would have been interested in preserving the ranch are Kathy and Mark. Maybe it's just my grandeur. Is that what it is? Grandeur? Is that?
I believe so.
Grandeur. But I'm very passionate about passing the ranch down to my children so that they'll be able to continue the family tradition. Knowing my children and knowing that they probably inherited my amazing personality, I can say, he put amazing in quotations. I can say for sure that the second I draw my last breath, there will be an inheritance war vicious enough to make Middle East and Eastern Europe seem like a recess fight in kindergarten. It will be nasty, painful, and disgusting. I wrote a will, and as per my will, the ranch will go to Kathy and Mark 50-50, including all the machines, trucks, other equipment, financial assets. Ronnie, the executor of the will, is getting my 1970s Lincoln Continental. She's the one who's been driving this car the last 5 years, and she's the one paying for the maintenance, insurance, and everything. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The other children get $10,000 each, and Tony gets my car, and a 2010 Chevy Suburban, purely because it's a safe car and he's getting his license this year. The grandkids also get $5,000 each. It's not much, but I don't own much either. I notified my children that I don't have much time left. Of course, they asked to see the will. I know that the second they see it, the poop will hit the fan and things will escalate. I don't want it. I don't want to spend my final years seeing my children suffer and fight. Ronnie advised me against disclosing the will. She's a skilled lawyer, so I trust her completely. I refuse to disclose the will, and then my children are enraged. They keep speculating about the will. They keep pestering me and giving me advice on what I should leave to whom. Am I the sphincter for refusing to disclose the contents of my will? By now, the only ones who know about them are me and Ronnie, and I intend to keep it this way. No.
You are right to... You're allowed to show your will to whoever you want.
Yeah.
But I don't think... you evenly split everything up. Because I'm assuming if you have a farm, that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? And obviously, like, if any of the kids wanted to check out on it, like, you'd have to sell the whole farm in order to get, like, money from it.
Yeah.
But, like, one kid just got, like, what, a car?
Yeah, so
one kid just got a car. Some people are getting, like, $10,000. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see that. So obviously one of the kids got a car.
Yeah.
One of the other kids got a car because he's getting his license.
But I feel like that 2010 that's nowhere near.
No.
Like $10,000. You know what I mean?
I feel like it definitely should have been like, I think each person should have got $10K in general, which maybe they do and he said it wrong. But
I think he like left only $10K to certain
to
ones.
the other kids that didn't get a car
Yeah.
and to the other kids that didn't get the farm.
Yeah, and I feel like...
Because Kathy and Mark got it 50-50. which includes everything of the farm.
Yeah. So, like, there's obviously the land, which land is a decent amount of money you can get for it. The actual
also, then
building,
Ronnie, the one that knows about the will, got the Continental because she's the executor of the will.
Or she probably didn't want much. You know what I mean? Because she's going to be a lawyer.
I get that one. She's a lawyer. She got her 1970s Lincoln Continental.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like also she's going to feel less entitled because she did have her father growing up with her.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other children who didn't have their father.
Yeah. So which ones were the one that he took care of?
Only Mark and Ronnie.
Was it Mark and Ronnie?
And then the last one who came in.
Ronnie and Kathy.
Oh, Kathy too.
Were the only ones. And then he took Mark in.
Yeah.
So Kathy and Mark. So the three that he took care of, Kathy and Mark get the farm, and then Ronnie is the one helping him with. Helping him with the will. I definitely think it wasn't.
And I feel like did he discuss with the other children about the farm? Like, obviously,
he just assumed that they were the only ones that would want to take care of it.
I feel like that he didn't share it equally. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, so every kid got 10,000. Each grandkid got 5,000. I mean, there definitely could have been like.
Oh, the grandkids got money too.
The grandkids got 5,000 each.
So this man's got a lot of money. He's saying he
definitely could have split it up a lot more even. Obviously, the farm is a big thing. You can't really split it up between.
You can let them all have it. It's just a matter.
I don't think he is like in the wrong for not telling them, but I feel like he could have had a conversation with those ones that he's giving the farm to, meaning like, hey, just so you're aware. You guys are going to be getting the farm.
Well, then what if they tell their siblings? That's the issue.
Either way, no matter what he does, is going to end in a fight.
Yeah.
So him not saying anything is going to cause a fight. Him saying what everybody's getting is going to cause a fight.
I feel like he should have just let them go in a brawl because that's not your problem.
Well, from what it seems like, no matter what, they're already fighting without him telling him what's in the will.
That's true.
So, but I feel like they're going to fight less that way than they are going to fight if he were to tell them what they're all getting.
But I feel like it's wrong for the kids that weren't raised by him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the ones that weren't raised got $10,000.
But still, that farm might be more.
Yeah.
And the other one, and the two other ones, they just got a car. The Continental, that might be a lot. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. But that one might be a lot of money. And in that case, how much is that car? Is that equal to what everyone else is getting? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm assuming he's paying her because she's a lawyer.
Yeah. So I doubt he's paying his daughter. She's probably just doing this.
I don't know. So either way, I feel like
not for disclosing the will.
He didn't want to disclose the will because he didn't want to spend his final year, with his kids fighting over each other, and fighting was going to go on. But ultimately, either way, they're going to fight because when you find out that your grandparents have money and they're going to be dying soon, you're like, oh, what am I going to get? Like, am I in your will? Like, there's literally a movie about that. It's called Knives Out. And the dad dies, and they have all the kids that come in, and they literally have a fight over who's in the will. And at the end of the movie, nobody's in the will.
This comment here, this so much. Well, it's basically someone saying, going against the grain, you are the sphincter here. And then they go on to discuss their ideas with it. And then someone said this so much. The guy neglected his children in life and is now going to neglect most of them in death as well.
Yeah.
And someone said, not letting them know is a nasty twist. But I feel like for the siblings' sake, they can't get mad at each other, and that could preserve their relationship. You know, there's certainly that resentment, but
yeah, no, they're definitely it's going to be a fight either way, and there's going to be issues. So I mean, before we read it, I would say no, but I feel like it kind of falls more on the yes side for just.
If we're just disclosing the will, you're not, because that's your right.
But there's obviously there's so much more in the back end of what's going on here too.
For not discussing the will, no, just because you can at least preserve the relationship between your children if they want to be friends with each other, if they don't want to be friends with each other, because obviously they all have different moms, from what he said. So in that regards, just to keep their relationship at least. So it's not like, oh, well, Kathy knew about this, but I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, the lawyer daughters knows, so they might gang up against her. But there's obviously lawyer client, privilege there.
What's that called? Wasn't it just called lawyer client privilege?
Yeah, or
attorney client privilege. Yeah, that's what it's called.
So obviously, they can't. It's like HIPAA. You can't break that.
Yeah.
But if we're going into detail about what
you're definitely being a sphincter about
I feel like it's
like
picking favorites.
Man just wants to enjoy his last year, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, at least he owned up to him, you know, not being a good father to the kids. He at least owned up to it.
I think he just admitted he just wasn't a good person. And
yeah,
now that he's
that's
dying,
literally what he said.
Like, he's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. What are you going to do, kill me?
Okay. So.
Sorry, that was
this one says
bad comment. I'm so sorry.
They might. Don't give them ideas.
All right.
Okay. So, advice needed. Am I the pooter hole for cutting off my best friend of 14 years after her engagement?
Cutting off. Wait, so read it one more time.
Am I the pooter hole for cutting off my best friend of 14 years after her engagement?
That sounds like a yes. Depending, but you can't do it over that because there's no context. I need context.
Yeah,
I need context.
So throwaway account. I, 25 female, have been best friends with Megan, or Meg, 27F for 14 years. We have always been close and would call each other sisters, as that's pretty much how we acted. Recently, I went through an incredibly traumatic experience in a bad relationship that nearly cost me my life. I am dealing with heavy PTSD and depression because of it. The day after this occurred, I got a phone call from Meg. I wasn't in the headspace to talk and just ignored it and went for a walk. When I returned, there were 3 missed calls from Meg and 1 missed FaceTime. I sent her a message and told her I was going through something serious and would not call her in a few days. Or I would call her in a few days. 1 week later, I called her and explained what happened and that I was sorry for being MIA and I was really going through it. Meg says, oh, well, I actually just called to tell you Cole, her boyfriend, and I just got engaged. I congratulated her and the conversation revolved around that until we ended it. Not once did she ask about my well-being or if I was okay. About 2 weeks later, Meg tried to call a few times, but I let the calls go to voicemail. After our last conversation, I just felt a lot of anxiety anytime I would see her name on my phone. A couple months later, one of my close friends passed away unexpectedly. This rocked my whole world. I was pushed into a deeper depression and was having trouble coping. And even shortly after I got a call from Meg, I answered and asked her how she's been. Meg says, I've been trying to get a hold of you, but it seems like a difficult thing to do these days. I apologized and explained that someone very close to me passed away and I miss her immensely. Meg says, that sucks. Are you around this weekend? I tell her no, that I'm working this weekend. Meg says, Cool has a hockey game this Saturday, but I thought maybe we could do something afterwards. I apologize and state that unfortunately I can't, but thanks for the offer. Ever since, I have not had any contact with Meg. However, recently I have been told from a mutual that Meg has been talking badly about me. Meg has been telling people that the reason I am not her maid of honor is that I could not look past my own jealousy to be happy for her and Cole's engagement. Tea.
Ooh.
So basically because of this, she had to cut me out. This leads me to wonder if maybe I was too involved in my own issues to be happy for my friend. So am I the pooter hole here?
Wait, so she was the one that was cut out. She didn't cut her out.
Yeah, she got cut off. I feel like I feel like this was a mutual cut off.
Yeah,
like,
it seems to be that way.
Because Meg tried to make one last ditch attempt to like make plans together.
This girl was like, I'm okay.
She's like, hey, I'm sad. I have work. And obviously if you have work, you have work. It's not like you can just not show up to work. But I feel like they didn't make they didn't try to like initiate contact with each other.
Like
so this is like a mutual.
They're both like,
they're both,
this is the last time.
Yeah.
And it seems like none of them tried to reach out. So, but then the friends started talking badly on him, which
I feel like this all could have been solved with a conversation.
It very much could have been.
Like if she was like, hey, can I talk to you about
should
this?
do is have a conversation and be like, this is what's going on.
And obviously Meg had an exciting event happen in her life and she wants to talk about it, you know. So she's not in the wrong for wanting to talk about it, but I feel like
she definitely should have. Well, from what it said, that she never even checked up to see if she was doing okay with.
Well, she was probably so excited to talk about it, but I don't know.
Getting engaged is a big thing. So like, I feel like you're on that like.
You should still be asking about your friends.
You're on that high, and it lasts a while. Like,
I don't know if it's still a week afterwards.
Yeah,
like, are you
definitely should have checked up on your friend.
Yeah, you should have at least been like.
I don't feel like she's in the wrong here. I feel like the other friend is.
This is a mix because
There's both sides.
I feel like this one's hard because you could have been like, hey, I want to talk about my friend dying and my ex-boyfriend, and she didn't, and she also didn't, and it seems like she didn't try reaching out to her friend at all either. She didn't try reaching out to Meg.
Yeah, she obviously didn't, because she was blatantly ignoring her calls.
Yeah, like she went out of her way to ignore it, and
that's gonna
I
suck.
understand.
Like, you just get broken up with, and then your friend.
Well,
calls
I think she's being abused, Border.
You get like broken up with, abused, like
heavy PTSD.
Getting through a really rough relationship and doing that, and then your friend calls you. Oh yeah, I just got engaged. Like, that's the last thing you want to think about. But they definitely both like should have just talked instead of.
And like, I don't know. Did she express the severity of? Like, did OP say the severity of it? You know what I mean?
Relationship?
Yeah. Or no, like, did she just say, "Hey, I'm going through stuff," or did she try? No. Did she try and then get cut off because? That's
details that we don't. That's details we don't know. Like,
we need more context.
I feel like there's definitely fault on both sides because none of you guys actually. Well, there's fault in the fact that she was blatantly ignoring calls.
Yeah,
and like
the friend
blatantly
also
not trying, but like
the friend also wasn't holding up her end, being like, "Hey, bestie, are you okay? Like, I know this is a really exciting time for me, but are you okay?"
Like I said, right there, both sides. Like, there's both wrong on both ends.
Well, her friend also did say that sucks to her. You know,
that sucks. But hey, by the way, did you know I'm getting it?
Yeah, like she also pulled that sucks. So I don't know. This one's hard.
That is definitely a tough one
especially because you guys have been friends for 14 years. You know what I mean?
Like, and that 14 years, and it's just gone. Like,
over something that could have easily been communicated.
Yeah, it's crazy to just like, even in my own situations, how much a conversation can just fix.
Yeah, it can. It can genuinely change your world.
Be an adult.
It's hard though because
it is
because this is something I even struggle with.
We've experienced this.
Yeah, like
me and you have been through that.
Yeah.
Like a simple conversation has fixed so many things.
Yeah.
But before it was like, I wasn't talking to you, you weren't talking to me, and like we both had issues with each other.
But like I'm quirky. I'm quirky. My thing was I'm quirky. I was trying to see if anyone cared enough to like come and be like, "Oh, why are you being sad, B?" But everyone was like,
"See, but the thing is, like, I wanted to.
No one did.
But
no one checked up on me, guys.
I said, simple conversation fixed this up. I didn't. I didn't reach out. I didn't reach out. But I wanted to. But
I was
But it also was like the part I'm like, does she even want to have a conversation?
Well, also there was.
There were so many other outside things.
But I don't even know if it was it necessarily a rumor? If it's like just like a one statement that was said, or a lie? Yeah, I think a lie from an outside.
You let outside forces? Information get in, and it just.
Yeah, and
so
none of us talked about it. So,
but eventually we did.
Yeah, but
it felt like forever down the line when we actually brought this back up.
So for everyone that doesn't know, we stopped talking for a little bit while we lived together, which is really
that's because I cut this out of the first. I cut this out of the first episode.
We'll just do a brief, like, easy overview. So we stopped talking while we lived together, which is really weird.
It is weird to not talk. It's weird to pass hallways when you're talking to somebody, and we weren't working at the same place at that time.
I recently just quit.
Yeah, so it's weird.
I was going through my sad boy feelings, and I was testing everyone, being like, "Oh, do they care about me?" It was just like living with my family. No one cared about me. No, I'm kidding.
We cared. I promise.
There was just no communication on either end, so everyone's at fault. End of story. No, but so there was a comment that was made that wasn't true.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way of putting it.
We were misinformed.
And I didn't even find this information out until we started the podcast, which is crazy. And it's been almost 3 years.
Yeah, it's been
almost 3 years. And I just recently found out this information. So communicate.
Yeah,
sometimes it takes 3 years.
Something is a simple conversation can fix a lot of issues. And I mean, moral of the story, have a conversation, be an adult. Like, that can fix so many issues. Like, all these people, there's a lot of people in here that they would have just had a conversation and been like, hey, this is what's going on.
And that's really hard. I do have to admit, like, I'm very guilty of not.
It's not easy. It's not.
It is. And this is like, that was something I was working on when I was going to therapy, was communication. And
it's hard to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to admit that they're wrong.
I'm very stubborn.
But if you're not willing to admit that you're wrong, then you're probably wrong. Like
my problem is I will realize halfway through I'm wrong, but I'm so stubborn.
Stick to the fact
I'm dying on that hill. I am fully right about this, and I've even talked about that with Allison, my old therapist. I was like, yeah, I will die on this hill. I will realize I'm wrong, but my
won't admit
ego has to be right. Yeah. Because there are things that, like, you know, life sucks. Being alive sucks. But if I'm right, I'm sticking to that right gun. I'm sticking with it.
I have one thing, and I'm holding on to this one thing.
That is my 13th reason. That if I don't hold on, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So I got to stick to my guns there.
Just talk. That's really all it needs.
Yeah, honestly. Like, save everyone the hassle.
Coming from experience between us two in general, having a conversation is...
And honestly, like, what if we didn't start talking and all these years I would have never found out why?
Nope. We wouldn't be here having a podcast right now.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, I would have never found out the reason why.
Yeah.
And I was always, and that's something else. I always, like, sat there and I was like, why? What I did? Because he unfriended me even.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. My little gang.
I added her on Snapchat. I didn't block your
together.
number. I didn't block your number, but I wanted to.
We lived together, guys. Keep this in mind.
Yeah.
And I sent him a Snapchat.
We had an argument over text. And that was the thing,
too. Yeah, because you unfriended me on Snapchat. We lived together.
I wonder if I can go back and find it. I wonder. Because we don't ever text. So I assume that it's probably somewhere.
That's probably recent. I also don't have your new number saved. I probably should.
I just love, imagine being gay is just a text that you sent me out of the blue for no reason.
I don't know why.
It was just at 8:30. Imagine being gay. There was no prior context.
No context.
I'm really curious to see if it's actually still here or not.
It probably is, unless you deleted the Yeah, I got unfriended, and I found out when I Snapchatted a picture, and it was like pending.
That's the best I'm talking to someone. All right. You really unfriended me on Snap?
Yeah, for real.
NVM, IDC. That's effed up, but all right. And then it was just... I
stand my guns. I could have went hard. I could have went sicko mode, but I didn't.
Oh. I'm not going to reread into that because it's old and over with. It's in the past.
It's stupid.
You raised the table.
Oh, did I?
Just a little bit, but...
We'll do there. Is that good?
I need you to unlock your phone again.
No. But yeah, obviously it's in the past. I personally don't care.
I don't care.
That's the thing. Like I used to be that person that like would reread conversations. Like I would go out of my way to make myself miserable and keep conversation.
Same. I've done the same thing.
And this is like another thing. Like
there's 11 people on this subreddit right now. Like currently on this exact page. Yeah,
that's
there's
really
11
weird.
People here.
They're also doing a podcast. Hi,
they're
guys.
also reading this exact thing.
We'll be in the algorithm together, hopefully. It's just like all of us one on one.
All right.
But yeah, another thing, pictures. I was so big on pictures. I would like have a collage of everyone. Like I would sit there scrolling through them crying. I'd be like, I miss you.
I've done the same thing.
And and that's why I don't, for my own peace of mind and to sleep at night. And also it'd be really weird if I kept, my ex-boyfriends from when I was like 15. Now that I'm married.
yeah, that's different.
Married
that's
adult.
different.
But I deleted it all. I don't even care. Friends, like certain friends, I don't have any pictures of them. I deleted it all. Like I'm just like I
Get
don't
out.
If it was more bad than good, I don't want to remember it. You know what I mean?
No, I get that 100%.
Like people, like there are like some friends from high school.
I can't bring myself to delete stuff, and it's so bad. I wish
hater.
I could, because I'd be perfectly fine right now, but I'm not.
I'm a hater. I'm like, nope, get rid of those memories. I don't remember anything, which is now a problem I struggle with. I don't remember anything.
That's why we do this, so we can talk about our memories and then just look back, like, oh yeah, that happened. Remember?
Every time I remember things, I'm just start putting in like my notes app. Be like, this one time when I was 5.
Alrighty. Am I the pooter hole for leaving my husband for what he did? There's no context behind that. You can't.
I am just going to go off the gun. I'm going to say no.
All right.
Take a leap into the dark, but we're going to need more context.
I'm going to keep this brief. Hi, everyone. While we're together.
Hi.
Oh, while we were together, I, 37 female, discovered that my husband, 41 male, had been having an affair with his ex-wife. Your
ex-wife?
wow.
He didn't even, he went to the past. He didn't even go to the future.
I want that old one.
Why are you guys divorced then?
I just off that first sentence, I'm just going to say no.
You're in the right.
You're in the right.
I hope you took everything he has.
Okay.
Get that car.
Had been having an affair with his ex-wife. I met my stepkids when they were 6 years old, and my spouse has, I met my stepkids when they were 6 years old, and my spouse has 2 children from a previous marriage. My husband and his former wife have been co-parenting for years. They are now 13 years old, and this is so confusing to me. Hold on. I'm so lost. So he's been having an affair. She met her stepkids when they were 6 years old.
Yes. So you said.
And my spouse has 2 children from a previous marriage.
So the stepkids are from the previous marriage.
Wouldn't that be the stepkid?
I assume so. Unless he has 4 kids.
That's why it's confusing. My husband and his former wife have been co-parenting. They're now 13 years old. The kids, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I would assume. So. I hope that's the kids.
So.
And I have never found it objectionable as long as they are parents of their kids. Understandable. My 4-year-old daughter, who is the only child I have with my spouse, forces me to put in extra effort at times. My spouse would always... Sorry, I can't read. God, I hate this so much.
We're dyslexic. We're not actually, but...
I'm not.
You never know.
It's so tiny, the board sometimes. My spouse would always act rudely towards each other. When they dropped the kids off.
I'm assuming the ex-wife and the husband.
Yeah, my spouse would always act rudely towards each other when they dropped the kids off, so I didn't think anything of his hanging around with his ex. So they seemed like they hated each other, so she didn't think anything of it. Okay.
They pulled a switcheroo. Okay.
What hurt me the most was that my stepkids knew about their affair and never said anything.
What?
How old are the kids?
13.
13.
What narcs? They're not even narcs.
They're not narcs.
They're not even narcs.
Stitches get stitches. You know that?
What do you even call that? Like,
I don't think you could put the
a reverse narc. You're a reverse narc.
Loyal. No, it's not.
That is not
it's
loyal.
not loyal.
They're no longer married. That's not loyal.
When I found out they cried, they cried and tried to beg me to stay, but I couldn't because my husband ruined it. I understand they do not owe me anything to say what happened. There isn't much to say, really. I've been getting death threats from his mother because I left, and now I am at my friend's house. This is going to be hard, especially with my 4-year-old, because she wants to see her dad, and I feel like a POS. Like a...
piece of poop.
Yeah, sorry. I went into work mode because we use POS systems all the time, and I was like, "Oh yeah, so that's a work day."
Point of sale system.
I'm not at work anymore. I am at work, but
different work.
I am stressed out and don't know what to do. I didn't get a lawyer yet, but I'm trying to get on that.
You're not in the wrong.
No, definitely not.
The fact, I understand it's your mom, it's your biological mom, and it's your biological dad, but the fact that you weren't even because this woman raised you for 7 years.
Yeah.
She helped your fundamental years of your life, and she is the mother of your half sibling, and there's no respect. No one cared about this woman at all.
Yeah, the kids are definitely old enough to know, and to know not to say anything.
But if the roles were reversed, if this was their biological mom with, a mistress, they would have jumped right on that.
Yeah, no, and I think she was right for not, completely blaming the kids.
And it's not their fault, but
yeah, no, it's the
husband's fault. 100%.
It's the husband's fault,
without a doubt, it's his fault.
But no, I don't think she's in the wrong for that. Having an affair, for one, is bad. But doing it with your ex-wife, who
yeah,
I was assuming that they make it seem that they hate each other on purpose, so that she wouldn't suspect the thing.
It's a freaking
there's no way that they didn't do it on purpose. No, I feel bad for this lady.
Yeah, and the kid's so young still too.
4 years
old,
and old enough to know that where's my dad? I want to see my dad. That's gotta hurt. And then getting death threats from the mother-in-law.
Tell your son to act right.
Yeah, your son's the one that's having an affair with his ex-wife.
And obviously, you can't control if your kids cheat or not. But get your son in line.
Yeah, no, she should be giving death threats to her son.
Yeah,
not to the one she was cheated on.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for her.
Oh
that's
my God.
that's genuinely like,
and such a young,
that hurts my soul. Just because of the kid.
too.
Like, granted, the other kids aren't her kids, but I mean, they still grew up around it for 7 years. So you're still gonna grow a bond with those kids.
My thing though is like, if you're gonna go back, why didn't you just divorce her and just get back with your ex-wife? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're even thinking about it.
My thing is, how long were they having an affair for?
Yeah.
Was there ever really a separation?
Also, the kids noticed.
But didn't say anything.
No. The kids noticed that they were together. So it has been going on for a while. Obviously, this wasn't a one-time. I feel like it definitely had to have
been going on for a while.
Like, obviously, this wasn't a one-time occurrence because the kids know that something's up.
Yeah, no, she's not wrong. She's 100% right for doing it. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Being completely honest.
Divorce so fast. Fast track.
Gosh.
Fast track.
I would pay extra to make it overnight divorce.
Overnight delivery.
Can I get an overnight divorce, please?
Oh my God.
We'll do like one more each. Yeah.
Okay. So this one's tagged not safe for work. So
I really hope I'm not in my workplace right now.
Am I the sphincter for divorcing my wife because I found out about her body count? Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. I meant to say yes, but I shook my head no. I was like, wait, no.
How much is it that he's willing to?
Yeah, how much does it have to be to divorce you?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I shook my head no, but I meant I was in my head reality, I was saying yes.
Okay, so was this before they married, like, or was there cheating going on? You know what I mean?
I'm assuming that it was before.
I'm hoping.
I'm really, come on.
Okay,
please,
so I, 27 male, have been married with my wife, 28 female, for 8 months now. When I married her, I was told to believe we both still had our V cards because of religious reasons. But yesterday, whilst we had some friends over, we talked about how young kids these days have their first time and don't really wait until marriage anymore. To which my wife responded with, waiting till marriage doesn't make sense anyways. There are so many safe options now. I chose not to respond and just listen whilst our friend group had a discussion about it later. Later that day, I asked my wife if she regrets waiting until marriage, to which she responded, I didn't wait. Oh. I wanted to tell you, but I never felt comfortable sharing it.
You should have known that was going to be his answer from the last comment that she made. You should have known that she was going to say, I didn't.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
All right, continue.
I have to admit, then I got furious and said some things I regret, name calling, etc., and told her to leave my house. Her parents live like 10 minutes away. I feel like I've been manipulated. What?
God. Man, I'm telling you.
How is this manipulation? It's a lie. Yeah. Well, is it even a lie if they never brought it up? If this is just an assumption? You know what I mean?
100% an assumption. They never talked about it. Not a lie.
If they never talked about it and it was just an assumption.
Not a lie.
Okay. So I feel like I've been manipulated and that I've been keeping to myself for nothing. And we had been dating for 7 months before we married. When she returned the day after, I asked her what her real body count was. And she told me...
Please be below 10.
She told me it was, with me included, 17. To which she added that most of those were only like a one-time thing and nothing felt like real love then with me. I told her that she had a month to pack her stuff and we were getting divorced. Thankfully, we signed a strong prenup that stated that in any divorce, no matter what the reason, our assets would not be divided. She agreed because she is the only grandchild of a very rich grandparents. My friends and her family have been blowing me up, saying that there is no reason to divorce since it was nothing to do with our relationship or marriage. But I disagree. If I knew she didn't have her V card when I married her, I would have never married her. Edit. Since it was unclear, she flat out told me she was a virgin too when we started dating. I told her I was waiting till marriage. After that, I didn't explicitly say I wanted a wife who was also waiting, but there was also no reason to, since she was a virgin anyways. To clarify, I was also upset with my wife with what she said about waiting till marriage. That's why I asked her about it. But the topic, as you can read, soon changed. I hope this will be the last edit. The issue isn't her not being a virgin, as I've stated in one of the comments. It's about her not waiting till marriage, whilst I did. If she married and divorced all 16 of those guys, that would have been fine. Although, if you had 16 different
What?
divorces,
What?
I'd probably not be the 17th guy
You'd
to
be
marry you.
okay if she got married 16 times, did it, and then divorced them?
I guess. I
So he said that she specifically said that she was a virgin.
yes.
So that crosses the lie territory.
But it is a lie, but is it really worth ruining your marriage over?
No, 100% no. Like, if you find that out at whatever point, whenever they find it out, like, I don't think that was 100% like overreaction to be like, get out of my house, we're done, we're divorced. Like, because it was prior to your relationship.
Yeah.
It was in the past. It's not like she, cheated on you with somebody. This was all prior to you guys dating, to you guys being married. So, like, I feel like that's 100% in the sphincter category for divorcing her for that reason. Like,
she definitely did lie, and you cannot forgive her for that, which is reasonable, but to the point where over the body count.
But I feel like that's something that could be, once again, worked out. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
But I feel like going directly to divorce, like, without it is just complete.
Also, I feel like
category.
He's not doing it for the right reasons as well, because he's saying it's because he waited and she didn't.
Yeah.
So I think he's mad that he didn't have his chance out in the streets.
That did very much sound like that.
And I genuinely believe that is why he's so mad about it. No. Because he's like, oh, she didn't wait.
Sphincter.
Like, he literally.
Make that with my hand.
You make a butthole with your lips. To the butthole lips.
No.
But yeah, so I feel like that's something that could have been discussed. He didn't necessarily have to jump in divorce over it.
Yeah, but yeah. So you're in the wrong, sir.
But if it's really that make or break, maybe it's the best thing for both of them.
Yeah.
Because
ultimately he would not have been able to have been happy. If that's what he wanted, he would have not been able to overlook it.
Yeah. And especially since it was
strictly
religious.
I guarantee you he got a divorce and just went out and went
potentially. I don't probably. That's the sad thing.
I mean,
it. I hope he didn't. This was almost a year ago whenever
was it?
Happened.
Hold on. Where was it at? You ready for this?
Final one, boys and girls.
Final story of the part one of this, because we're going to do multiple of this. I unplugged my headphones again. I heard just the silence deafening in my ears. All right, there we go. Am I the sphincter for not giving my kidney to my daughter? There has to be context behind this. I can't just give a...
That's an organ. That's a whole organ.
We'll just do... Sorry, I was reading a text.
He's texting his hoes, guys. He's not focused on Reddit. God. Kids these days.
I have a daughter with my ex-wife. After our divorce, I had won half custody after a 2-year custody battle, but that didn't matter because my ex filled her brain with garbage, so she refused to stay with me. She was a teenager, so I just let her do what she wants. My wife and I got engaged about that time. She witnessed firsthand what went on. So I had to move it closer to my face.
That's fine.
My wife and I got engaged about that time. She witnessed firsthand what went on. We have 2 kids of our own now.
Wait, how long? Does it say how long after the divorce?
Well, after the divorce, so they divorced and then had a custody battle for 2 years.
Okay. So 2 years after. Okay.
So about 2 months ago, my daughter used diet pill that she had bought from someone shady. It damaged her kidneys permanently, and she is currently on dialysis. Don't do drugs, kids. Especially from someone shady. Don't do that.
You don't have to lose weight. You're perfect the way you are.
When my ex asked me to get myself checked up to see if I'm a compatible donor, I did it without hesitation. I am a match. I am more willing to give her my kidney. My wife was a distant, and I asked her to talk to me. She told me that she is scared of complications about surgery, and I have 2 kids with her too. She says she understands why I'm doing this, and she will not stop me as she knows I love my daughter, but she is scared. Then I really thought about it. I came to the conclusion that I have done enough for my daughter. I fought for her. If she was with me, I would have stopped her from damaging her body like that.
You would not have.
Oh my God. I'm
You
going,
are.
I'm
You
on,
are the
I'm on,
Peter
I'm
hole.
on, you 100% sphincter.
You already are.
Like, just,
This
I don't
is-
even have to read the rest of this, but I'm going to.
Also, what the wife said, was it really a lie? You know what I mean? Because they said she was a teenager when they got divorced. So was she witnessing things that from the dad? You know what I mean?
Wait, what are you saying?
The daughter. So the daughter witnessed her dad and her mom get divorced because she said she was a teenager, right?
Yes.
So what was the mom really feeding delusions into her, or was she witnessing things that she didn't like from her father?
Okay, so I fought for her. She would be able to stop it from damaging her body like that. I don't hold her responsible as the only one responsible is my ex. If she had been, God, this is just getting worse, and you're digging yourself into a deeper hole every conversation you make,
If there is
sir.
a will, there is a way.
If she had been a good mother, or if she would have let me be a father, it wouldn't have happened.
Why didn't the daughter want to be with you if it was like a split
Oh
custody?
my gosh. So I informed my ex and doctor that I am not willing to go through with an organ donation.
What?
That was the whole purpose of this. My ex has been
Well,
harassed.
I thought he was like hopefully like deciding on it. I
No.
thought he was like
So he told him no.
I thought he was still like deciding on it.
No. My
You know
ex
what I
has been
mean?
harassing me and my wife for the past month. She tried to bargain with money, said she will sell everything she owns to give me if I just donate. She is harassing my wife, saying that she filled my brain with garbage. She is, saying that the wife fed garbage into the husband's head. I told my ex not to bother my wife and blame herself. She wanted our daughter for herself. She couldn't even take care of her. She is completely responsible for what is happening. Singer.
Yeah, there is nothing redeeming because
There's nothing.
you can be the best parents in the world and your child will do drugs regardless. How many times have we seen this? You know what I mean? I feel like if you're bad parents, it's more likely like you want to drown out the bad stuff. But if the daughter was a teenager when the divorce happened, was it her? I think it was her own prerogative not wanting to be in the dad's life. Like what?
Yep.
And the fact that they got married so soon after the divorce, like why are you willing to get remarried that fast after a divorce? Like the divorce was barely. And this is your daughter.
Yeah.
And like she made a mistake.
Yeah.
And
and you're blaming it on the mother. Like
And-
you guys are.
dialysis is so hard on the body, and then even after you get the kidney, you have to suppress your immune system and take medicine so your kidney doesn't reject. So it's like
It's not a.
she's gonna be living with that consequence for the rest of her life, and she has to get like blood.
Because you're blaming it on your ex-wife for
and
letting
she's
her
a
do it.
child. She's like a teenager. Like
If she wanted to be with me and she would have been here, she'd be fine.
No, that's
No,
not.
get out of here.
And the thing with
oh
that
my
though
gosh.
is like
that like genuinely just makes me mad.
she's the exclusion to the rule. You know how like people are like, oh, I do drugs and nothing ever happened to me. She's the exclusion. It's like texting and driving. Yeah, you didn't crash, but they did.
that's-
She got.
That just makes me so like upset. The whole
Oh, that
I am not
poor
the
girl.
problem. If she was with me or she would have like her mother, like she's a bad mother, she would let me be a father. This wouldn't have happened. I would have stopped this. No.
You could have stepped up to try to be in your child's life.
Yeah.
You could have
Oh
visited.
my
you could
God.
have.
Like that's. Yeah.
You could have done more, or you could have went back to the court system because you can always do that. You can always go back and be like, "Hey, I want more visitation rights."
Yeah. No, that's wrong. He's in the wrong.
And the fact that the wife was like, "I'm sketchy about you donating your kidney to your daughter."
But it wasn't even that. The wife just expressed her like how she felt about it. She didn't tell him don't do it. She said she was going to support him doing it if he wanted to do it.
But
So,
I feel like in that instance, you should be like, "This is your daughter. You should." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And, like, I
obviously
get-
we have our own kids, but hopefully they don't need a kidney because obviously hopefully the mother or someone else match it. Like if
Yeah, like
that were
the
ever-
wife expressing, being like, "Hey, this is how I feel. Like I'm scared." Like wasn't. I mean, I don't see that explicitly as her saying, "Don't do it."
he's more likely to be fine. He's not getting the organ. He's just giving it up.
Exactly.
He's more likely to
You
be
only
okay
need
in
one
this
kidney.
situation.
You only need the one,
Well, he's more likely to be
especially
on
when you're older.
the safer side
Yeah.
because they're just taking it out.
Yeah.
Like but like getting the organs, that's harder.
Yes, it's an operation, but like you said, he's on the safer side of it. So like,
Yeah, like, he doesn't have to
100% in the wrong for just being like, I'm not going to do it. my daughter can live with her consequences. Essentially what he was saying.
Yeah.
And that's so, I hate that.
And the list is so long to get a kidney. And like being so young on dialysis, like if she's still in like high school, like what about prom?
That's,
Like what about the rest of her college? You know what I mean? Like she's going to have to always be close to a dialysis center. Like.
Yeah, that's so bad.
And like she made a mistake. Like taking a dietary supplement isn't good.
I'm a shady person. Don't do drugs. You people that have not done drugs, just don't do it.
But is it like a real drug? Because it's just a dietary pill.
Well, you're getting it from someone shady.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're gonna get a dietary pill, do it the right way.
No, don't take diet pills.
No, I'm just saying, if you're gonna get a diet pill, don't go to someone. Go to like a doctor or like a pharmacy that has them, so that at least if you're getting something from that, it's not like gonna kill you. Well, because who's to say that was a diet pill?
Yeah, that's true.
If that's put her like that, there's no way it was a diet pill. There was something else.
No, there's always side effects of everything you take. There's side effects of everything you put in your body. No. So she's the exclusion to the rule. It's like a side effect list to any medication you take.
Yeah. So, no, he was 100% just sphincter.
I agree. He should have helped his daughter. I
think that was the worst one.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, I think out of the ones we said, I think that
could have saved his. That's a life.
I think that takes the cake for number one sphincter. Like that would be what we do. We have the number one.
We found our number one sphincter.
Like I feel bad for a lot of people on these things because especially the ones that deal with kids.
Yeah, that's always so hard, and the cheating.
Once again, a lot of these things could be taken 50-50, but
given our contacts, these are just our opinions.
These are 100% opinions. If you want to roast us for these,
what are your opinions?
Yeah. What do you feel?
Tell us what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us?
I might read a comment. I might not. I read all the comments, but
you do. You comment. You comment to the comments.
I do, and I respond to all the comments. Yeah.
You get a personal chat with him.
Yeah, but this is interesting. I've never done anything like this before. I never actually read them, so I
didn't either.
I'll be interested to read more because I feel like we both are on the same side with all of them. I feel like we all would be because it's just a lot of them are just like common sense.
This is all like more of like a context thing. Like, did they?
If you were to go just off the title, it's hard because there has to be some sort.
Some of them are really hard.
There has to be a context.
But some of the context in the actual story itself, like. Are you summing it up to the point where it's making you look like the good guy? Or are you summing it up to the point where you're making yourself look like the bad guy? Like what really happened there? Like, obviously we're not going to get all the details because these are people's like intimate moments.
Personal lives.
Yeah. And like, obviously you have your own personal bias and how you see yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever watched Black Mirror?
No.
So there's this one episode and you get like a little like thing put, it's like goes behind your ear. And I forgot what it's called, but you have like a little button and you can like rewind your memories and you can like watch them through your eyes or put them on TVs and stuff. I feel like that'd be so cool, but like at the same time, that's scary.
Yeah.
Because I always say, like Black Mirror is like the new Twilight Zone. It's like a more modern, like these things could happen, and that's terrifying.
I've seen clips. I never actually watched the show, though.
I love Black Mirror. Black Mirror is like one of my favorites because like, especially the new season, because they did up until 2019, and then they were supposed to do 2020, but because of COVID, because it was something similar to COVID. It was a pandemic.
Really?
They made the season a pandemic one, so they were like, oh crap, we can't drop this because there's literally a devastating pandemic going
happening right now.
We literally predicted the future. We are the Simpsons. So they scrapped that, and then they recently posted it last year, like the new season. And they're like 2 hours long. It's like a movie. Like their episodes are like a whole movie.
Didn't they do like an interactive one?
Yeah, it's like Bandicoot or whatever.
That's what I thought.
That one's pretty cool too. I like that one. That one's cool. But I like the actual TV show. It's like
it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's so realistic because like it's not like aliens. Some of them are like a little kooky, but. Like
as everything is.
It's so scary though because like these are things that genuinely could happen, especially with Neuralink, like literally being tested on people right now.
Yeah.
Like we are getting so close to the point where we could have like a little chip to replay memories, and we could literally watch them and put them on the TV.
That'd be crazy.
And like
I don't know if I want to do that.
And doing like, and they also have like a little thing where it's like a button and you can do like immersive games. Like you literally, your mind is in the game.
Imagine. No, thank you.
Like you can literally play a game in your mind. Like that's scary. That honestly, with Neuralink and stuff like that, there are passless. There's
passless.
There's so many possibilities that are.
Yeah, that is definitely like a.
We should just do that. Am I the pooter hole? Just post your. This is what I saw. You see it? You see what I saw? There's the pooter hole, right?
Oh,
there's
my.
sphincter.
But that was fun though. I said it was interesting to see. I mean, it's not fun because there's really not fun stories, but it was interesting. Is the word I meant to say. Definitely, we'll do more. We'll
find different words for butthole.
Yeah, we'll do just every time is a different word. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I think we get more watches than listens. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, probably.
Which I mean is fine. We're still growing. We're still growing.
We had 39 followers when I looked at.
Is it? We have 30. I think we lost one. If I'm being honest, I think we lost one.
It's because of Nickelback.
It's because of Nickelback. I'm telling no. Yeah, we're at 38. But like I said, thanks for watching, for listening. If you're on YouTube, let us know what you want to see next. Like we're open to anything. It's just gives us a reason to come in here and do something.
The comments, dye your hair.
Don't forget to like the video. We gotta be like super, just like in your face, you know.
Like, love, correct. No, that's Daz.
Like the video, subscribe, follow us on whatever you listen.
Give us ideas.
Leave us ideas.
We're always down for
We're having fun. That's all that matters.
We can do a car karaoke.
You want to hate us? Do it. I welcome it. More people.
Don't.
I'm just kidding. Don't hate on us. I
already have existential dread.
I'm very fragile. I'll start crying.
I might. I don't know. Depends.
Until next week. Goodbye.